Tech meets business, management basics for engineers. 1. Sales engineers. What does management mean to engineers? When people hear the word management, many tend to think of it as knowledge required to become an executive or something that only managers need to deal with. However, management is not just for executives. In fact, it is extremely important for engineers working on the front line to understand management as well. No matter how excellent the technology an engineer creates, if it does not sell in the market, the company cannot generate the funds needed for the next development project. In this sense, development and sales are inseparable. To understand management means to understand the mechanism that sustains one's own development activities. Now, let's look at how Japanese business structures have changed over time. From the late 1990s to the early 2000s, the way Japanese companies traded with each other changed dramatically. In the past, trading companies acted as intermediaries between manufacturers and customers. This was called indirect sales. But from the 2000s onward, many manufacturers started to sell products directly, the direct sales model. Why did this change happen? Let's look at 3 main reasons. First, the speed of technology development increased dramatically. With rapid innovation, manufacturers couldn't keep up with market changes if they relied on trading companies. To move faster, they needed to sell directly to customers. Second, products became more complex, and customers wanted more customization. Manufacturers needed to communicate directly with customers to adjust product design and specifications efficiently. Third, global expansion. As companies set up their own overseas subsidiaries, they could sell and provide services directly without relying on trading companies. Because of these changes, Japan's industrial structure shifted from trading company-centered indirect sales to manufacturer-led direct sales. In Europe, the system of general trading companies, like those in Japan, never developed. Since the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries, manufacturer-led distribution channels have been firmly established. European countries are geographically small, with shorter distances between markets. This makes it easier for manufacturers to sell directly to customers, without relying on large intermediaries. In addition, many companies have strong multilingual capabilities, allowing them to overcome language and cultural barriers on their own. Manufacturers, dealers, and retailers operate as independent entities, conducting business through flexible, contract-based relationships. Furthermore, financial and logistics functions have long been specialized and separated. As a result, there was little need for trading companies to play a comprehensive bridging role in these markets. In Europe, manufacturers have long established a direct sales system, in which they sell products directly to customers. Instead of relying on trading companies or intermediaries, manufacturers communicate and conduct business with customers on their own. A key feature of this system is that everything from product proposals and technical explanations to after-sales service can be handled entirely within the manufacturer's own sales department. In other words, manufacturers themselves build relationships with customers and conduct business based on both technical expertise and trust. Within this environment, a new type of professional became essential, someone strong in both technology and sales. Rather than simply selling products, these professionals clearly explain the technical advantages of a product and propose solutions to customer challenges. This is how the role of the sales engineer was born. A sales engineer is a specialist who combines technical knowledge with a sales-oriented mindset, bridging the gap between the engineering and sales functions to connect technology and business effectively. In Europe, sales engineers play a key role in the direct sales model. They act as a vital bridge between technology and customers. By understanding customers' technical challenges, they propose solutions using the company's own technologies, building trust through both technical expertise and strong communication skills. Sales engineers also lead solution proposals. They focus not only on product performance, but also on the business value it creates, such as improving productivity, enhancing energy efficiency, and reducing CO2 emissions. In other words, they translate technology into tangible business value for the customer. They are also at the core of project execution. Sales engineers coordinate closely with manufacturing, quality, and logistics teams to manage delivery, specifications, and quality. They serve as the technical leader who connects customers with internal departments. After installation, they continue to provide support. Sales engineers offer ongoing technical assistance and suggest improvements, maintaining customer trust and encouraging long-term partnerships. Finally, they act as technical brand promoters. They represent the company at exhibitions and technical seminars, promoting its technology and reputation. By collaborating with research institutes and industry associations, they further strengthen the brand's presence and credibility in the market. In the United States, unlike in Japan or Europe, it is relatively uncommon for manufacturers to sell products directly to customers. Instead, many companies sell their products through agents or dealers. There are several reasons for this. First, the country's vast size. Because of the enormous geographical area, it would require tremendous cost and effort for a manufacturer to cover every customer nationwide on its own. Second, the strong regional diversity of the market. The U.S. has very different industrial structures and customer bases depending on the region. Local dealers and agents can leverage their regional networks to build stronger, more personal relationships with customers. Third, the culture of specialization and division of labor in sales channels. In the U.S., roles are clearly divided. Manufacturing is done by manufacturers, sales by dealers, and service by specialized companies. This reflects a rational mindset. Manufacturers should focus on manufacturing, while distribution professionals handle sales. So, what role do sales engineers play in this agent-based business model? When agents are involved, the sales engineer's role shifts from direct sales to technical support and education. For example, when an agent's sales staff presents a product to customers, the sales engineer provides technical explanations and supports with implementation guidance. They also conduct product training sessions for the agent's sales and service personnel. At joint seminars or trade shows, sales engineers are often responsible for giving technical presentations. In the case of key accounts or customized projects, the manufacturer's sales engineer may directly visit the customer to build technical trust and credibility. In this way, within the U.S. market characterized by its vast geography and culture of specialization, manufacturers and agents work together, each leveraging their strengths. At the center of this collaboration, connecting technology with customers, stands the sales engineer. We have now looked at the role of sales engineers in Europe and the United States. What we can say in common is this: engineers who can transform technology into business value are highly valued all over the world. So, what kind of engineers will be needed in Japanese companies from now on? They are engineers who can understand technology, communicate it to customers, and convert it into business value. It is not enough just to develop technology. Engineers must also think about what value their technology creates for customers and be able to explain it clearly. In other words, engineers with a sales engineer mindset will become increasingly important for Japanese companies. For engineers, understanding business means acquiring the ability to make technology continuously valuable in society. That is the essence of the new generation of talent, those who combine technology times business. At the end of every engineer's work, there is always a customer. Understanding business is the first step in connecting technology to the customer. This connection leads to the next development and becomes the driving force that sustains technology.